In 2019, intense competition and concerns over a slowing global economy saw a significant number of airlines ceasing operations. These failures have drawn attention to an area of aviation finance which has been enjoying stellar growth in recent years: aircraft asset backed securities, or ABS. So, why has this sector been growing so strongly? What impact have airline failures had? And most importantly, what does the future hold for the ABS market? The first 6 months of last year saw Germania, WOW Air, and FlyBMI disappear from our skies for good, and while the busy summer months brought a brief respite, the latter half of the year gave us a further tranche of bankruptcies, including France's Aigle Azur and XL Airways, Adria in Slovenia, and perhaps most dramatically, Thomas Cook in the UK. 2020 has also got off to a bumpy start, with the coronavirus having a significant impact on air traffic, especially in Asia, as my colleague Heike Ompele outlined in detail in our recent Thought Cloud video. Before looking more closely at the effect of airline failures on the ABS market, it is worth exploring the background of the sector and examining its growth more closely. Over the past decade, yields from traditional safe haven assets such as government bonds have declined significantly. For example, investors in UK 10-year gilts have seen their income yields fall from nearly 4.5% in 2010 to less than 1.5% at the end of 2019. This fall in available income has led some more sophisticated investors towards alternative asset classes, including aircraft ABS, which offer comparatively attractive levels of risk-adjusted returns. Cirium Fleet's data tracks aircraft in nearly every ABS portfolio, and since 2015 the sector has been firmly in growth mode, with year-on-year net increases in the collective ABS fleet. In fact, 2019 proved to be a record year for aircraft securitizations, with nearly $10 billion of new ABS issuances. As this growth has increased, so too has the size of the ABS sector relative to the leased fleet, with aircraft contained within ABS portfolios now representing just over 14% of the commercial leased fleet, up from a low of just 6.7% in 2013. By the end of 2019, just under 1,200 aircraft were contained within ABS portfolios. Among the collective fleet of recent airline failures, a total of 11 aircraft were owned across 8 different ABS portfolios. As of the 10th of February, all but 4 of these aircraft had either been sold or parted out. Of the 4 aircraft which remain parked, 3 are Airbus 321s, the market for which remains relatively strong, suggesting that lessors should be able to realise value from these aircraft either through redelivery or part out. Further evidence of this limited impact comes by analysing the effect of airline failures on ABS portfolio values and income. On average, each ABS had just 5.5% of its fleet by value exposed to airlines which ceased operations. In terms of the percentage lease payments affected, the figure was broadly similar at 5.3%. We can conclude, therefore, that thanks to the effective management of concentration risk, the ABS sector has not been unduly affected by the airline failures of 2019. Indeed, despite these challenges, growth has remained positive, thanks in part to growing investor demand for alternative sources of income. A higher degree of sophistication and better availability of data have also made aircraft ABS more attractive to a wider pool of investors, so much so that for some, aircraft are no longer seen as an esoteric asset class. However, as we look to the rest of 2020 and beyond, it is worth remembering that some risks remain. The coronavirus has the potential to significantly impact the demand for air travel, particularly in Asia, and could lead to a further tranche of airline failures. This could in turn put pressure on aircraft values. The timing of the 737 MAX's return should also be considered here. Managing these risks will be key to the long-term success of the sector, and at Ascend by Cirium, we will be continually monitoring the aircraft ABS market and will be releasing further thoughts and analysis on both ABS and the wider aircraft finance sector as 2020 progresses.